Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Neyah for those of you who are new, and in this video we're going to talk about the Akashic Records, how to channel them and tap into them, and what really are Akashic Records. If you're interested, just keep on watching. Okay, now the Akashic Records are one of the most fascinating topics in the spiritual community, in my perspective. Many cultures through the ages have been talking about this library, this hall of records, this incredible knowledge that comes from ether. Yes, ether, because Akasha in Sanskrit means ether, the sky, the divine perception. But what are really the Akashic Records, and how can all of us tap into them? We know of famous psychic like Edgar Cayce that could channel the Akashic Records. He could tell people past life, their divine purpose in this lifetime, and also he can have cure for their disease with natural plants. And that was an incredible thing, especially for the time where Edgar Cayce was born. He used to be called the sleeping prophet because his prophecy were done in a state of unconsciousness while he was sleeping. Other people have been talking about these records, about this incredible knowledge where everything that happens in all of the existence and in various universes is stored. Even the Bible, believe it or not, talks about these records. And actually, Edgar Cayce said that this record have a physical form, maybe even in the chamber under the Sphinx. And they were coming from Atlantis, and they will be discovered when the time will be. Obviously, they're not discovered now, so we don't know if that prophecy was true or not, but definitely I think this is a very interesting and fascinating topic. Now, I channeled the message of my angel because prior to any research, I always like to tap in my own Akashic Records or channeled my angels to understand on my own what spiritual topic really means. So I want to read the message for you guys, and then we're going to discuss further about how to tap into the Akashic Records and how I understood what they are and exactly how the Akashic field works. So stay tuned because this is the message. There is an energy where everything is stored, from the beginning of the journey to the eternal constant now. You are infinite knowledge expressed through a field of energy. All that is stored within you is energy, is there for you and for all, to serve you, to expand you, and to heal you. We are the keepers of the infinite journey. Nothing is ever lost and nothing is ever broken, but everything constantly transforms. Your personal field is your study, is your knowledge, and is your personal journey. It can be assessed and will be accessed when the time is needed, and you are always supported on your unfoldment. Tap into your field of energy to expand and live the life you choose to live. So this is the message, and I was very shocked when I was channeling this message because after that, signs and synchronicities were coming up. I was like seeing on Gaia things about the Akashic field, and I wasn't really searching it, like they were just coming up. And then I found other resources and other readings that I could do regarding the subject, and I was really amazed because a lot have been said about the records. And in this video, you're obviously gonna hear my peculiar insight regarding the records, which probably will be a little bit different from other sources, but it doesn't really matter. It's a different contribution, and I always invite you guys to check all the resources that you want and make your own mind regarding any spiritual topic, because you are your own personal guru and teacher, in my perspective. So If the Akashic Record are a field that the brain cannot conceptualize because the brain is suited for this 3D reality. So it can never conceptualize something that is non-physical. And the energy field that we are talking right now is a non-physical entity, is not even in a space or a time, is in a quantum field in my perspective. So without anything material on it and in complete chaos as an order. But it doesn't matter because I believe in vibration. So I'm going to break it down in a nutshell for you. If everything is stored in this energy field, we can tap into the Akashic Records according to our own vibration. What do I mean by that? If our brain conceptualizes these records as a library, think about a library with multiple levels on it. And you always have to have a key to these multiple levels. So let's say, for instance, that your vibration is now at the point of the 4th dimension or the 5th dimension. You can absolutely tap into your own personal records and see the choices of unfoldment of the future. Hold on, what do I mean by that? The future can always change. So it's true that the records and your personal Akashic records, like the channel message was saying, contain the life that your soul chooses to live. But it also contain the unfoldment of various paths that you could possibly choose in this lifetime from the beginning to an end. And on a broader dimension and a broader perspective, it contains all the information from the beginning of spirit, from the beginning of source, of God, however you want to call it, and all the information about other universes. That's why many people says that the Akashic Records are stored in the 11th dimension. But to be honest, I think for what I channeled either is that the Akashic Records are stored within us and outside of us in the Akasha, in the ethereal. And so we are an unfoldment of knowing that it's never broken and never lost, but constantly changing. So the amount of information that you gather through inspiration, in fact, artists and musicians are very good at tapping into the Akashic field. It's because they feel an intuition that comes from a source that is both within and outside of them. In that moment, they are tapping into the great Akashic Records. And it's a matter of your own vibration, because if in this universe, everything, in order to be experienced, needs to be a vibrational match to our own inner vibration, it goes hand in hand the fact that it depends on your own vibration, your own state of being, the amount of knowledge and information that you're going to get from the Akashic field. Obviously, when we're talking about higher vibrations, so 10th to 11th dimension, if we want to talk about dimension, we are talking about the perspective of source, the perspective of God. So in a library, we talked about levels and books, your personal records, your personal book. But then when we were talking about higher vibration, close or being the 11th dimension, so source, the library becomes the walls itself. You will become the library itself. You will become all-knowing because you're going to tap into the all-knowing field in all its essence. So that's why there are a lot of different sources regarding the Akashic field. But to be very simple and very down to earth, I think that everybody can tap into the Akashic field for what they need in this instant moment. And what the majority of people would need, it's not even knowing what their past life was, but they just want an unfoldment, like the channel message was saying, regarding their life purpose, why they came here. And the only way to do that is through allowance. What do I mean by that? Every time that you are in a meditation, and by the way, check my angel guided meditation if you're new to this practice, so you can train yourself to enter a deeper state of meditation. Every time you are in meditation and you stop doubting yourself, because doubt is resistance, you are allowing information from the field to come through. The only thing that you gotta do is set an intention. So go in a meditation and say, I need information regarding the field, regarding my own field for my life. And I assure you that you're going to get knowledge as long as you don't resist it. Just don't question it. Whatever comes through your mind, just take it, because you're going to have time later to question it and doubt it. But in the moment, be allowing and allow the moment to unfold, and so your life will unfold at the same time. Again, I did the example of artists, for example, or in my perspective, I want to share this story. I wrote a book called Love Just Is. That book was pushed by my angel guides. They were telling me and keep repeating to me, you should write a book, you should write a book. I didn't really know what they were talking about because I never wrote a book in my entire life, and neither had any skills on writing in English. But they said, you can do anything because nothing is impossible in this reality, in this space reality. Just sit down, meditate, and we will give you the information that you need. I wrote that book in one day, literally, all channeled. Basically, the majority of it was channeled. And this is because I allowed my inner being to tap into the Akashic field. If the Akashic field is all-knowing, you can tap into everything that you want and you can learn everything that you want. And I truly believe that. The only limitation is you, and it's your belief system. I could give you another example of mine, and I just give mine not because I'm better than anybody else, but it's a practical example because I have experienced it. I learned guitar in 4 months, and I became a professional musician after 6 months that I was playing guitar and writing my own song, simply because one day I set up the intention of saying, I'm gonna learn guitar and I'm going to write song. That intention and my allowance of the moment made me tap into the Akashic field, and learning guitar was easy. Remember, nothing is impossible. I recently saw a movie yesterday of this guy climbing without ropes or anything a very high mountain. He just had to do it, and he believed he could do it. Surely he had to prepare himself to do it because he's a human being. But nothing is impossible. If humans are arriving to climbing mountains without ropes, this means that our advancement is getting higher and higher and higher. And the Akashic field is nothing but a stream of energy that contains the all-knowing wisdom that is due to our expansion on Earth and the expansion of source energy. Again, I hope, guys, this video was informative for you, and I hope you liked my channeled message. Keep in mind that you're never wrong if you follow love. Bless everyone.